Hey guys, welcome back to my channel one more time. My name is Preet and you're watching Info at a Glance, your very own immigration ace, where you watch videos and you become boss of your own immigration. And today I'm back with another video. This is going to be an important addition in my immigration update series, wherein we will be talking about a very important document which you require for multiple application types, which is your reference letter, or in other words, your work experience letter. Now, this letter has some important aspects which are mandatory for you to cover, and that information is available on the CIC website as well. So I will be covering each and every important point which you need to consider before you actually submit your letter for your immigration file. Now, this letter can be used for PNP applications if you are claiming points for your work experience. This can also be used for work permit applications wherein you showcase your previous experience, and definitely for express entry. Students moving to the country with the prior work experience, they also need to showcase this letter if they are claiming points for any of the work experience of their past, as this particular document will be the piece of information which IRCC will refer to in order to give you points which you have claimed against work experience. So before I start, if you have not subscribed to my channel yet, then please consider doing so, and do press the bell icon for all the latest updates on Canada immigration. Now, there are two additional things which you should know before you actually start preparing for your documents, especially when it comes to your reference letter. Number one, this cannot be a self-declared document, so you cannot use anything which you have declared yourself on a piece of paper. And the second important thing is, whatever is mentioned on the CIC website basis the requirements for this particular letter, if that is not provided to IRCC, your application may get rejected. I'm not trying to scare you, but that is the fact that whenever you are claiming points for any of the work experience, your work experience letter plays a very important role for you to get those points which you have claimed. Now, it is necessary for you to understand that every single piece of information which you showcase to IRCC has to be 100% legit and should have an option to give you a cross validation. And the most important part, the document which you are trying to attain from your company should not be an endorsed document. That has to be on the company letterhead only. That should have the complete information about your company. The very first piece of information which you need to actually consider is that the letter which you are submitting should be on your company's letterhead. When I say company's letterhead, that means your company's name, address, website, phone number, all these basic information should be available on that letter which you are showcasing to IRCC. The second most important piece of information on that letter should be the date when the letter was issued to you. If that letter is issued to you when you were already employed with the company, then your last working day should also be mentioned on your reference letter. If you are getting that letter issued after your last working day, then just a date of issue is absolutely fine. The third important piece of information which your reference letter should include is your designations which you held at the company. For an example, if you joined as an accounts receivable clerk and later on you got promoted as an accounts receivable manager, so the duration you worked as an account receivable clerk and the duration you worked as an account receivable manager should be mentioned separately, followed by all designations held at the company. And another important piece of information which your reference letter should include is your annual salary and any additional benefits which the company has provided you during your employment. Now, followed by all designations, annual salary, and your additional benefits, your weekly working hours should also be mentioned on your reference letter. Now, moving to the most important part is your job duties or your job responsibilities, and that should be clearly mentioned on your reference letter or your employment letter. Now, when I say job duties or main duties, you can refer to the CIC website to identify which one is your appropriate NOC. And in case you struggle to find your NOC, all you have to do is to simply Google NOC Finder. And when you Google NOC Finder, you will find the information regarding your NOC basis your job title. Now, it is not necessary that your job title will have a direct NOC attached, but yes, if you find your NOC, that NOC will have the subsequent index wherein you can find your relevant job title, so you can pick accordingly. But with that particular NOC, you can definitely find the main job duties attached. Now, when I say job duties, it is not necessary that you meet all the job duties which are listed on the IRCC or the CIC website, but yes, the job duties listed on the CIC website should match your work experience and should be mentioned on your employment letter or your reference letter. Now, it is not recommended that you simply do a copy paste of information wherein you simply copy the information and share it with your endorsed company and they can give you the letter just simply copy pasting it. That is not the case. It has to be revised, it has to be in the own language, and it has to be an accurate piece of information which you should be submitting. If you want to relate an example, definitely that example is also available on the CIC website, which I have linked in the description box below. And any information regarding your proof of employment, I have linked the CIC website link as well in the description box below, which you can refer to. So to conclude, the job duties listed on CIC website against the NOC which you are eligible for, you just simply have to match the job duties listed basis the CIC website in your own language, and that has to be issued by your company on your employment reference letter. And it is not necessary that you meet 100% requirements or the 100% affiliation with the NOC that has been listed, but yes, anything above 50 to 60% is absolutely considered good to go for you to claim points against the NOC you are eligible for. And towards the end, the letter should include the last working day which you held at the company, along with the last designation which you actually held at the company, followed by your conduct at work. That's a very important piece of information which your company should mention on your employment reference letter. And towards the end, your employer should clearly mention that they are happy to answer any further queries when it comes to validate that letter, so that immigration understands that they can simply validate the letter in case they need to. Followed by the last piece of information which you need on that particular document is the signature of the person who's issuing that particular letter, along with his details and a stamp. Now, this is a standard format which is listed on CIC website. I have not included anything additional, but yes, this is how an employment reference letter should actually look like when you are showing it to immigration to claim points against any NOC wherein you have shown work experience in. Now, the only change which you can have in this particular letter can be related to your main duties or your job responsibilities, but apart from that, the other credentials which I have mentioned over here, which are reflecting on your screen, that cannot be omitted or that cannot be skipped at any point of time. For any reason, if that information is not available or if you fail to showcase that particular information, then please be advised that your immigration file or your PR application or your application which you have submitted, even if it's for a work permit, that may get rejected, or that may trigger an ADR, which is an additional document request asking for more clarification on the information which you have shown. So please keep a note of the information which I have shared with you basis the standard format, because besides this, you do not need to include any additional piece of information when it comes to your employment reference letter unless you are a part of a regulated profession which requires you to showcase a license. So that's all for today, and don't forget to like the video and share it with your peers who are interested in Canada immigration, who are in the process of applying and they are trying to collect all important piece of information and documentation. And do consider subscribing to my channel and press the bell icon for all the latest updates on Canada immigration. If you want me to assess your possibilities and if you have any questions for me, you're more than welcome to connect with me on my Instagram or Facebook handle. The links are available in the description box, and the barcode for Instagram is available on the screen. It's info@aglance21. I will be happy to revert back basis my work availability. And I'll see you next week with another amazing immigration update. Until then,